G.K. David II is a rapper, author, and founder of his non-profit organisation, God's Government, Inc. And he's on the line with us here. How are you doing today?
Yo, what's going on, Toby?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing okay.
Great. So this book that you've got out now is called The Continuance, and it's actually about Tupac, right?
Correct.
So what gave you the idea to write a book about him? Because it's actually fiction, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the first fiction book about the late rapper Tupac. I just did the research. I realized, I discovered that no one else had written a fiction book about his life, so I decided to go ahead and jump in there and do that right there.
Yeah. Is it kind of scary to do a fiction book about a real person?
Actually, no, it's easy because you could just make up stuff. I brought him back to life because he survived the 96 drive-by in Vegas, and I made him the president of the United States. I mean, it was fun. It was fun to do it.
So what gave you the idea to make him the president?
Well, it's because one of his the members of the Outlaw, his former music group, one of them mentioned that he had a fondness for politics and he probably would have went into politics had he lived. So I said, let me go ahead and make that happen fictionally. And I did. So yeah, it's a good read. It's millions of Tupac fans out there that are gonna love this book. Yeah. Because for this brief moment, he's here.
Is it sometimes risky though, because maybe some hardcore fans might not like the creative freedoms you've taken?
That might be true. There's some diehard Tupac fans that they're gonna love it because he got placed in a high position in our country. But some of the stuff in there is a little risque, you know what I'm saying? But hey, skip over those parts.
What is it about Tupac himself that made you want to write the book? Because, of course, I suppose you could have written about many people.
That's true. I'm thinking about doing an Amy Winehouse fictional thing, too. But anyway, it's because of his life in a short span that he was here. He done more than most people have done in 80 years down here on Earth. It was just so much to write about based on his real life experiences, you know?
Yeah, that's absolutely true, because there's only one other person I can think of, Buddy Holly, where they had such a short career that was tragically cut short, but yet everybody knows their songs.
Yes. I'm familiar with Buddy Holly and stuff. So yeah, it's just a piece of creative material that everyone should get. I mean, The Continuance, because his life continued in this fictional book, and I encourage everyone to go out and get it. Even if you don't even listen to Tupac music or you don't know who he is, just learn about him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because even people that aren't into that kind of music have heard of Tupac, and they kind of know his story, really, don't they?
Yep. You could have never even listened to rap music, but you heard of him, just like you've heard of Elvis Presley. Yeah. And a lot of other musicians, Jimi Hendrix and all of these. Their life surpassed their music. I mean, you've heard about their name based on, their names went farther than they did. Yeah. Further than they did. So that's the case, yeah.
And I suppose immediately after he died in real life, in the book, does he continue with music initially before going into politics?
I'll save that for the book.
Okay.
Because I don't want to give that part away right there.
Yeah.
I'll save that for the book.
I guess we'll have to read it then.
Yes, please. It's a short read, 150 something pages. It's not that long.
Yeah, that's not long at all. Is it still quite packed though?
It is quite. It's an action adventure packed book. It's a short read because I don't even read books myself. I don't like reading books. I don't. I've been to jail and prison before. That's where I read books to pass the time. But after I was released from prison, I just can't sit down and read a book. Yeah. Too much going on,
Yeah, I'm the same, to be honest. I think it's partly because we're so digital these days, and I'd rather just watch a movie.
Yeah. I'll mess with an audio book or something like that because you're just listening to it. But you'll sit down. So I hopefully there's not a lot of people like us too, in my case, where they will read this book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but 157 pages, it's not really a challenge, and you could really read it all in the same day if you're that kind of person that binge reads.
That's true. My mom did that. She read it in one day.
Yeah, well, I suppose you're thinking of doing an Amy Winehouse book, but do you have any sort of confirmed plans for future books yet?
Yes, The Continuance Part 2.
Ooh.
And this book will be longer than the first one.
Ooh.
And another book called Replace, which I don't want to get into the details right now because it's a little You'll hear about it next year, 2023.
Yeah, okay, we look forward to that. And in the meantime, where are all the places that The Continuance is available?
It is available at Amazon.com, paperback form, Barnes and Nobles, several other places. Just look for any book retailer, applebooks.com. Yeah, so it's available in a lot of places.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, many thanks for coming on today. It's been great to have you here.
Thanks, Toby Griffin, and I appreciate coming on your show, yo.